Okay. Robert Phillips, the Executive Director of One More Chance. We have Jamel White over there sitting down. He's the other Executive Director. Say hi. And here we have Heather. What is your last name, Heather?
Hilleman.
Heather Hilleman. And she is actually going to be doing an interview today with us. And we're very excited to have her. And so one of the things we're going to have her do first is she is going to tell us about her story, what her struggles are, how hard it's been for her, and some of the problems that she's faced as she's gone through her journey to get employment, to get education. And step one, I think, is a fantastic thing, is she's here today. And we're very excited to have her. So without further ado, all you have to do is just tell your story. Don't worry about messing up. We can always edit things and all that good stuff as well.
So I've been sober for going on 2.5 years now. I'm a felon.
May I ask you what you went to prison for?
I didn't do prison time,
Okay.
thankfully. I did get probation for a forgery charge because I was messing with counterfeit money.
Why were you messing with counterfeit money? What was your story behind that? What made you?
Behind that was I was struggling with my rent and I was actively using.
Okay.
My drug of choice is IV meth. Just basically trying to come up with rent money.
Okay.
So that's how all of that came about.
So how did it get started? What was, if you don't mind me getting a little personal?
Yeah, of course.
When you began your journey in life, you had a household, you had parents, maybe both, maybe one, maybe you were in foster care. What was your home life like?
As a child, my home life was I have 2 parents that are addicts.
Okay.
My one parent, which was my father, went to rehab, got his shit together, and took care of me and my sister. I haven't seen my mom since I was like 16, so she's still obviously actively using.
So you'd say you came from a pretty broken home. And Laja, can you go back and forth between us so they can get me asking her questions and then the questions, and then obviously we can edit that out, but you don't have to walk all the way over. You can literally just point this way.
Oh,
that
okay.
way.
Okay. I'll try and stand here.
But so when you were growing up, you can say that you had a tough home life.
Yeah.
It's not like, Mary Poppins and, pick your guy that's really responsible. You didn't have that kind of growing up. You had a very rough growing up, and I did too, by the way, and he did too, which is why we're all here today.
Right.
And why we have more understanding than the average person will have in regards to these types of things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So as far as home life goes, you basically had 2 addicts. I would imagine that the responsibility level of the 2 addicts that you grew up with was probably pretty low.
Yeah.
And why? Because they were doing drugs and probably not holding steady jobs and things like that, which put you in an immediate economic situation.
Right.
A situation where you needed to find a way to make money. But in that circumstance, you're probably not going to school regularly. And if you are going to school regularly, you're not doing your studies, you're not doing your classes, you're not doing the things you need to do to make it out of school.
Yeah.
And that right there, folks, is the problem. This is an economic problem. Crime is not just about someone wanting to go out and cause a bunch of trouble. Obviously, this young lady is not out there to cause a bunch of trouble. She was in trouble, she needed help, and how does she get that help? Well, she's got to help herself. Her parents aren't there to help her every day. So her parents are struggling. She's going to be struggling because they're the ones raising her. So what does she turn to? She turns to crime. And these are the kind of things that One More Chance, this is what we're doing. This is what we're solving. This is the problem that we're out there trying to change laws for. We're out there trying to make a difference. And, everybody in this organization has had economic challenges growing up. And we have compassion, and we have the knowledge, the street knowledge, to understand what individuals like Heather have gone through in their life. And so with that said, telling your story further, you've gone through your struggles. When did you make the decision to actually start doing the counterfeiting? What was that process like?
Well, like I said, I was in active use, basically just messing with the wrong people.
Right.
They're like, hey, I have an idea. And I'm like, all right. Didn't work out that way.
Right. You're trying to get rent money.
Yeah.
You're trying to get back and forth, Elijah. Back and forth.
How?
Back and forth. Whenever I start talking, the focus goes over here. Whenever she starts talking,
but
focus
it
goes over
sometimes
there.
goes back and forth. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
So yeah, just keep doing
Just
it. Like
keep
even
doing
if you
it.
have to like
okay,
really
okay,
fast.
fine. All right.
Even if the people that are watching this get dizzy.
All right.
All right. So so yeah, you're out there and you've made a decision now to you're finding it hard. You don't know how to get the money that you need both to buy drugs, pay your rent, and pay your electric bill, pay whatever bills that you have. So what's your only alternative? Is it to go get a job? No, you're going to struggle getting a job because you didn't get the proper education, you weren't given the proper responsibility, you weren't taken care of by the people that were supposed to really give you the start in life that you deserved. And so where are you going to go? You're going to go to crime. And that's what we find to be one of the biggest key elements out there for going to prison. As it's not your fault. First of all, I'd like to start by saying it's not your fault, okay? You were put in that situation. And this is what I call, folks, economic crime. When I see economic crime, she's not out there causing trouble because she wants to. She's out there causing trouble because she has to. I don't see that as a menace to society. I see that as someone doing what they have to do to survive. And that's exactly what we're here to solve today. And so continue on. Anything else you want to discuss or anything else?
Like I said, I've been sober for 2 years. I mean, my addiction started when I was 18 after I lost my daughter. I just got my other kids back from CPS about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And that had to have been heart-wrenching too.
Yes, very. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. My problem was I couldn't get sober. I could get sober, but I couldn't stay sober.
Right.
So I struggled with that for almost 4 years. Finally got them back. I decided to move because I'm from Colorado. So I decided to move to Arizona because this is where my dad lives. But ever since I got here, I can't find a job because everybody wants to do background check. Nobody wants to hire me because...
How hard is it to find a place to live?
Super hard. I mean, right now I'm still living with my parents because
Back and forth, love.
It's just...
Not now, when I'm talking. We love you, buddy.
Oh gosh. It's really hard. I can't
Yeah.
even get on Section 8 because of my felony.
Right.
So currently I live with my parents and I'm trying, but I've
So-
been here for a year and nothing.
Back at me real quick. So she's living with her parents, right? And so how good of an economic structure does she have right now? She's back with her parents who initially gave her the issue to begin with. She's back with them, right? And are they really, really helping? Yeah, they're probably helping out. They're probably giving her a place to stay. How long is that going to last? It's going to last until they feel like they can't support the situation anymore. Maybe it'll last forever, maybe it won't. But she's got to worry about that every single day. And that's one of the big issues that we face here. Is now, what happens if she goes back on the streets again? What happens if nobody can take her in and nobody can help her out while she can't get a job? Not because she doesn't want a job, she's here, she wants a job. Not because she can't find a place to live. She can find a place to live, she just can't get in. So I talk to people all the time, folks, that have this problem. And, it's funny, I talk to people that say, oh yeah, ex-felons, they can get a job, it's super easy. No, it's not, folks. Some people get lucky, and that's one, that's one avenue. The other avenue is someone doesn't get lucky. And, you go into Safeway, you might be able to get a job, they might hire you, but here's the problem, and here's my main concern. The companies are forced by law to hire ex-felons. Are they really forced? Is the company owner going down and doing the hiring, or is some random Joe that was hired to work at Safeway actually doing the hiring? Well, it's some random Joe. What's that random Joe's opinion about ex-felons? And then he's gonna look at 2 applications and he's gotta be, I don't wanna say super sneaky, but he's gotta be super sneaky. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna look at one application, he's gonna look at the other application, he's gonna say, well, this person's got a check on the felon box, this person doesn't, let me take a closer look at the qualifications. And so what they do is they'll make up a little story, and that little story's gonna say, this person was more qualified, the one that didn't have the check box and the felon box, right? That's gonna be the more qualified individual all of a sudden. And so that's what they're facing out there. And job and housing applications too, they're required by law to give someone housing, right? And they have 15 applications, not just 2 on their desk. They have 15. And they have all these people, they've only got so much space in their apartment complex. Sorry, we just don't have enough space for you. I'm sorry, we just don't, we can't help you. I'm sorry that, you know, you've got this problem. And where is she gonna go? So ultimately, if her parents decide she's not gonna go out there and help out and they're done, maybe they can't afford it anymore, you know, pick your problem. Where's she gonna go? Well, she's already been turned down at all the apartment complexes, which is why her parents are out there to begin with. Now what's gonna happen, it's real simple. She's gonna go on the street, she's gonna have to beg for money, and she's gonna have to ask people out there when she's clearly trying to make it work for herself. And she's clearly trying to be successful. Why? Because she's here today. Okay, and then is there anything else you wanna add? I'm sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time
No,
just because.
You're fine. No, I think that was it, pretty much.
Okay.
Definitely the job thing for me has been rough since I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here a year, almost a year and a half, and still nothing.
Right.
So,
And there is a lot of places out there that say they'll hire felons. What has been your experience when you go into and ask for employment? You fill out an application. What's the response that you normally get?
so it really irritates me because a lot of the jobs I'll get as far as the interview, I'll get as far as them doing the background check, and then once my background check comes back, they decline the offer.
Right.
And then it feels like it's just wasting my time.
Right. And how does that make you feel when you go in there and you're declined over and over again when you've already done your probation, right? You
Yeah.
did it. It's
Yeah.
over. You should be done.
Yeah.
Right? So in this country, the whole goal behind prison sentences, probation, and all of that is to reform. How are we going to reform, folks? How are we going to reform if she's still having the same problem, you know, years after she was off of probation, and she's still having to check the felon checkbox as always, and she's sentenced for life. She got a, you know, how long was your sentence?
Gosh, my sentence was over 6 years ago, and I successfully completed probation, and it still haunts me.
Right. Bring it back over here. So she's completed her probation. It's done. It's over with. She's, you know, done the time that they gave her. She's had to be super careful and make sure she's following the law to the letter. She did everything that she was supposed to. Was she supposed to get a life sentence? Because that's what happened. That's not fair, folks. And we need to do something about this. We need to change it. And, you know, one more chance is out there to do this. We need your assistance, as always, to continue to help. Because if you're not helping us do it, I mean, me and Jamel and, you know, the team here, we only have so much money. And I'm telling you right now, I've already put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this organization. And now I'm at the point where we need your help. We need your donations to help us continue to help people that are struggling, like this young lady here. And we desperately want to help. See, you guys don't have time to help. So that's what organizations like ours are for. So you actually can do something good with your money. And I'm not asking for $1 million donation. I'm asking for 50 cents. I'm asking for $1.50. I'm asking for whatever you can do to help people stay off the streets, people, hardworking people that really want to make a difference in this world and are now stopped by the unfair justice system that we have in place. So again, done her time. She didn't deserve a life sentence. She had economic crime to begin with, something that she had to do. And now she's paying for the rest of her life for something that she had to do to stay off the streets the best she can. Okay? So economic crime is a crime all in and of itself to punish people forever. We shouldn't be doing that, folks. She started off struggling. Now she's struggling harder, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair. We're gonna change it. Okay, and so that's your story.
That's my story.
That's your story. Well, fantastic. And so I'll do a bunch of edits on this. I'll send it over to you. You can tell me what you think, what you want to keep in, what you want to throw out. And, you know, tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and we'll fix it. And then I'm going to present it in Southern California, San Diego to be specific, to my marketing team. My marketing team is going to shoot it all over the place, and we're going to do a couple live events, and we're going to use you and your story to help us. Yeah, and you're going to be out there. And Jamel, our guy over there, knows places where will work with you to get employed, and he's very good at those types of things. He knows a lot of people.
I have a question now. Like, so what type of job preference are you really looking for?
I mean, my job preference is really, like I said, I have a lot of customer service, call center stuff.
Okay, so if you were to get hired as of next week for a call center job, you'll be willing to work?
Oh, heck yeah.
Sorry
Heck
guys,
yeah.
I'm gonna shut that as loud.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll see what we can do as far as, we can definitely get you situated with a job placement, but it's up to you
Yeah,
if you're, really sincere of wanting to work.
Yeah.
We can help people get jobs all day, but the thing is, a person, he or she has to want to work themselves.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm definitely so ready.
Okay,
Awesome.
well, what we'll do, we'll give you an application to fill out and pretty much go from there, and I'll submit it to different employment situations and pretty much go from there.
Okay, that would be great. Be so helpful.
Okay.
Thank you, Elijah. I really appreciate it. Now you've learned how to be a fantastic cameraman, so I'm going to get you the whole gig and whole setup, and we're going to get you rolling.
All right, I'm
You're the
in.
cheapest labor I have.
All right, I'm in.
Even if you guys, anytime you guys are looking for for your guys' company, let
Yeah.
me know, because I
Well-
would definitely be interested in helping.
Okay, so we're not there yet. We're almost there.
Right.
And that's kind of the goal. We're gonna, hire as many people as possible. I'm actually starting another company soon that it's going to be my main goal in that company to
Yeah.
hire
Yeah.
former felons.
Right.
And when I get two applications, one's gonna have no checkbox and one's gonna have a checkbox. I'm gonna pick the one with the checkbox.
Right. Right.
And so that's my goal in life, is to start giving real job opportunities. Right now, we don't have the resources yet, which is why we need your help. We don't have the resources yet to where we can place people in high positions
Right.
due to their real qualifications. Right
Right.
now, I mean, you probably got all kinds of qualifications. You should probably be pretty far up there in the ladder.
Yeah.
And right now, they start you right back at the bottom again.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that felony checkbox, and there's people out there, and I'm telling you right now, that have gone through, money laundering or other things that they're
Yeah.
dealing with, and at one time they probably had really high positions in companies, but now they've done their time. They've gone through the, they've gone through the ringer, and they come back out and they start at the very bottom again. And it's just
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen for everybody out there that needs this help.
Yeah. I think that's
Especially.
awesome.
Especially telling people in California, believe it or not, people are typically more generous in California than they are here in Arizona. I
Right.
really wish that wasn't the case, but it
Right.
really is the case. Which is
Yeah,
why I
believe
spend a
it.
lot of time out there.
Right. Do you want me to fill this out right now, or do you want me to bring it back?
You can bring it back. You can
Yeah.
bring it back.
Okay, because I know you guys probably want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
It's
we gotta
Friday.
go.
Like, it's
So,
Friday.
what you can do,
Should I bring it back Monday?
Monday, I would say anytime after 9 is fine.
Okay.
As well as I'll give you my.
Yeah, because I literally
So-
live down the street.
Wait,
So.
go back.
Okay, well. you
Stand in
can
front of
take
that door.
This other number down, that way, once you.
No,
once
keep
you get it filled
smiling.
out,
Give a smiley kind of look.
I'll
Lightly
let you know
smile.
Exactly
Yeah.
when someone will be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Nice.
I'll put you in the with Monique here.
I hope that worked.